So, little project I'm working on. I've owned this since new. I will show you some of the things that I've done to it. I've added an RF tap. I'm in the process of I put a switch on the back. Oops, here we go. So I have a series of switches on the back. This turns the amp on and off so I can make the radio low drive and use a larger amp. This is for direct inject. I'm still working on that. I need some parts. And the other thing I've done is at the back of the radio here, if we can see right here, I added an SMA. I will flip the radio over and show you here momentarily. That is an RF tap. What that allows you to do is your CB antenna you already have, it's a high Z tap point. So it taps behind the antenna relay inside the radio. So you don't have to worry about switching. So you feed your CB antenna in here, and you come out of this and feed this into your SDR. And when you're in receive, you can use your SDR as a high performance CB receiver, or basically, I mean, depending on what you're using for an antenna, I mean, you could use it for whatever. But you will still have to mute the speaker somehow. You'll have to have some sort of muting in the software, like SDR console has it built in. But by doing this allows you to have a high performance receiver, while you know, not by sharing your antenna with the radio. And I'll show you that. So basically it basically taps into the RF chain behind the antenna relay inside the radio, and I'll show you that. It's real easy, and I'll put a link to the company. I just used what I had, and I don't do this for a living, so I can do whatever the hell I want, like using the same, I used what I had for wires. I went with a more flexible wire here because these surface mount pads are very, I'm going to put the capacitor for the direct inject back here. I wanted something that had a little give. Even though I use this really thin spaghetti coax, I wanted something so that it shouldn't really move. But I didn't want this directly connected to the pads and ripping the pads. And what I had to do, if I can zoom in, I had to tombstone that capacitor. So what ends up happening is that when the switch is down, the audio routes through the microphone and the radio like it normally would. And when the switch is up, the audio will come in through my processor, go through the cable and into that this far pad over here, and that'll perform the direct inject. Direct inject is not working because I need to get a capacitor for here. I hooked this up and I went, oh shit, I need a capacitor. Also, I'm going to need to change C260 to get a little bit low response, and I don't have a cap for that. So let me stop the video and I'll show you the high Z tap board. So here we are inside the radio. Basically it's just in a heat shrink sleeve. Here's where the RF is tapped here. I'll have to look at the can. Let me tell you what can. The guy that sells these will provide instructions if you give him a schematic. I guess I'm not going to make this into a how-to. And then what happens here is when I push to talk, it disables the power. And then this comes out, and I just did the same thing with the coax. That's where the SMA is that you guys saw on the bottom of the device. And when you buy these, it's a kit. It comes with, I don't remember if it came, I bought this a few years ago. I think it came with the SMA and the coax. I think I had to provide the wire, and I think it even came with this heat shrink and stuff. But that's it right there. So that's how I add the second receiver to this thing. There you go. So that's what we're working on. So when I get it direct injected, I'll let you guys know. Well, I had to stop. I got to order parts for the direct inject, but everything's wired. Amp is on. I'm running about 30 watts. Flip the switch off. Oh. Turn the meter down to 5-watt scale. We can roll the dead key down about 3/4 of a watt. I can't demonstrate it, but the switch does work. Down is regular, you know, through the front. This would be direct inject. I don't know, I could do a longer video on why I did what, but I just tried to use what I had. Here, I'll show you in the back. I think I did a nice job. You know, direct inject will go here. These are my switches. You can see down there. That's my SMA for my SDR. Make everything look nice and clean.